Welcome to our lesson on evaluating and selecting digital and non-digital learning resources. Today, we'll explore how teachers can make informed decisions about which instructional materials to use, adapt, or reject. The essential question guiding us is, what evidence should a teacher require before deciding to use, adapt, or reject an instructional resource? By the end of this lesson, you'll be equipped with practical criteria and strategies to ensure your resource choices truly support learning goals. Let's start with our learning objectives. First, you'll develop criteria for evaluating both digital and non-digital resources. You'll learn to assess accuracy, curriculum alignment, developmental appropriateness, accessibility, cultural relevance, privacy, copyright, safety, and feasibility. You'll also distinguish between original, copyrighted, openly licensed, public domain, and permission-dependent resources. Finally, you'll practice writing evidence-based decisions about resource use, adaptation, or rejection, including concrete adaptation plans. Before we dive deeper, let's clarify some key concepts and vocabulary. You'll encounter terms like resource evaluation, accuracy, developmental appropriateness, accessibility, copyright, open license, data privacy, cultural relevance, and feasibility. Understanding these terms will help you apply the evaluation process more effectively and communicate your decisions clearly. Imagine reviewing a worksheet that's visually appealing, with colorful graphics, but has vague objectives, tiny text, and even a factual error. This activity asks you to identify what could mislead a teacher who judges resources mainly by appearance. It's a reminder that good looks don't guarantee instructional value. Reflect on what you already know, what you're unsure about, and what evidence or experience could change your initial view. Self-regulation is key to effective teaching. At this stage, you're encouraged to record a short response about your current understanding and uncertainties. Later, you'll revisit this reflection to see how your thinking has evolved. This process helps you become more aware of your decision-making habits and areas for growth. High-quality resource must support a specific competency, learner activity, and assessment evidence. It's not enough for a resource to be engaging or entertaining. Sometimes, fun materials encourage guessing or passive watching rather than deep thinking. The real test is what learners actually do with the material. Teachers should always document the reasons for their choices and the evidence supporting them, making resource selection an accountable instructional process. Accuracy is non-negotiable. Teachers must verify all claims, examples, labels, calculations, maps, diagrams, pronunciation, and cultural representations in a resource. The material should match learners' language, vocabulary, attention span, reading demand, prior knowledge, and developmental level. Complexity can be scaffolded, but the core concept must remain intellectually honest. Again, documenting your reasoning and evidence is a professional habit that ensures accountability. Accessible resources are essential for all learners. This means using readable text, clear layouts, captions or transcripts when needed, meaningful image descriptions, alternatives to color-only cues, manipulable or tactile options, and flexible response formats. Accessibility ensures that every student can engage with the material, regardless of ability or background. Cultural relevance means resources should respectfully represent diverse backgrounds and avoid stereotypes. Examples should make sense in learners' communities, but not assume one local experience fits all. This approach helps students see themselves in the material and fosters a more inclusive classroom environment. Ethics and privacy are crucial when selecting resources. A free-to-access resource isn't always free to copy or share. Teachers must check licenses, attribution requirements, platform terms, advertising, data collection, account creation, and age suitability. These considerations protect both students and teachers from legal and ethical issues. Feasibility means considering practical factors like bandwidth, hardware, printing, maintenance, classroom time, and backup options. Even the best resource is useless if it can't be implemented in your context. Always document your decision-making process to ensure professional accountability. A key professional habit is documenting the reason for your resource decisions and the evidence you used. This transforms resource selection from a matter of personal preference to a transparent, accountable instructional process. It also helps you reflect and improve your practice over time. Let's distinguish between different types of resources. Original resources are created by the teacher or school. Copyrighted resources are protected by law and require permission for use. Openly licensed resources allow certain uses under specified conditions. Public domain resources are free for anyone to use. Permission-dependent resources require explicit approval. Knowing these distinctions helps you stay compliant and creative. Digital resources offer dynamic content and interactivity, but they also come with challenges like privacy concerns, bandwidth requirements, and device compatibility. When evaluating digital materials, check for accuracy, alignment, accessibility, and feasibility. Make sure the resource supports your instructional goals and can be used by all students. Non-digital resources like printed worksheets or manipulatives are often more accessible and require less technology. However, they still need to be accurate, developmentally appropriate, and culturally relevant. Evaluate these materials with the same rigor as digital ones, ensuring they truly support learning objectives. Let's look at a real-world example from a Philippine elementary classroom. Two resources are available to teach the water cycle: an animated website requiring individual accounts and continuous internet, and a teacher-made sequence card set with an optional offline video. Each has strengths and limitations. The website offers dynamic visuals but raises privacy and access concerns. The card set is more accessible but less interactive. A blended approach can maximize benefits. For example, the teacher could project the animation for the whole class and use printed sequence cards for hands-on activities. Students could then explain the water cycle in their own words. This adaptation balances interactivity, accessibility, and privacy concerns. Now, try evaluating one digital and one non-digital resource for the same competency using a common checklist. This hands-on activity helps you apply the evaluation criteria in a practical context. Compare how each resource meets the standards for accuracy, alignment, accessibility, and more. It's important to verify at least 2 content claims using credible references. This step ensures that the information you present to students is accurate and trustworthy. Use textbooks, academic articles, or reputable websites to confirm facts before using a resource. Identify any accessibility or cultural barriers in your chosen resources. Write specific revisions to address these issues. For example, add captions to videos, use larger fonts, or include examples from diverse cultures. These changes make your materials more inclusive and effective. Determine the copyright or license status of your resources. Draft an attribution statement if required. This step ensures you respect intellectual property rights and model ethical behavior for your students. After thorough evaluation, make a final decision to use, adapt, or reject the resource. Defend your choice with evidence from your checklist and analysis. This process builds your confidence and accountability as an instructional decision-maker. Reflection is a powerful tool for growth. Revisit your initial thoughts and compare them with your final decision. What changed? What stayed the same? This reflection helps you recognize your learning and areas for further improvement. Professional accountability means being transparent about your instructional choices. By documenting your decisions and the evidence behind them, you demonstrate responsibility to your students, colleagues, and community. This habit also supports continuous improvement. Avoid common pitfalls like judging resources solely by appearance, relying on popularity, or skipping the verification step. Always use your evaluation criteria and document your reasoning. This approach helps you avoid mistakes and ensures high-quality instruction. Scaffolding allows you to adjust the complexity of resources without diluting the core concept. Provide support where needed, such as glossaries, guiding questions, or step-by-step instructions. This ensures all learners can access challenging material. Offer flexible response formats to accommodate different learning needs. For example, allow students to respond orally, in writing, or through drawings. This flexibility increases engagement and accessibility. Ensure your resources represent all students respectfully. Avoid stereotypes and include examples from various backgrounds. This approach fosters a sense of belonging and respect in your classroom. Always review the terms of use for digital platforms. Look for requirements related to data collection, advertising, and account creation. Make sure the platform aligns with your school's privacy policies and age-appropriateness standards. Technology isn't always reliable. Plan for backup options, such as printed materials or offline activities, in case digital resources become unavailable. This ensures learning continues smoothly, no matter the circumstances. Consider the maintenance and update requirements of your resources. Digital tools may need regular updates, while printed materials might require reprinting or revision. Factor these needs into your feasibility assessment. Digital resources often require specific bandwidth and hardware. Check if your classroom has the necessary internet speed and devices. If not, consider alternatives or adaptations that fit your context. For non-digital resources, consider the costs and logistics of printing and distribution. Make sure all students can access the materials, whether at school or home. Plan ahead to avoid last-minute issues. Evaluate how much classroom time each resource requires. Some materials may take longer to use or prepare. Balance instructional time to maximize learning and minimize wasted effort. Remember, engagement doesn't always equal learning. Some resources are fun, but don't promote the target thinking skills. Focus on materials that encourage active participation and critical thinking. Choose resources that support diverse learning needs. Look for materials with multiple entry points, varied formats, and options for differentiation. This ensures all students can succeed, regardless of their starting point. Be vigilant about avoiding stereotypes in your resources. Review images, language, and examples to ensure they reflect a wide range of experiences and identities. This creates a more welcoming and respectful classroom. Openly licensed resources can be adapted and shared under certain conditions. Always check the license terms and provide proper attribution. These materials offer flexibility and can be customized for your classroom. Public domain materials are free for anyone to use, adapt, and share. These resources are especially useful when you need flexibility and don't want to worry about copyright restrictions. Still, always check that the content is accurate and appropriate. Some resources require explicit permission to use or adapt. This might involve contacting the creator or publisher. Always secure the necessary permissions before incorporating these materials into your teaching. As a teacher, you model ethical resource use for your students. Show them how to respect copyright, give credit, and use materials responsibly. This builds a culture of integrity in your classroom. Resource evaluation is an ongoing process. Regularly review and update your materials based on feedback, new research, and changing student needs. This commitment to improvement keeps your teaching effective and relevant. Work with colleagues to evaluate and select resources. Sharing perspectives and experiences can lead to better decisions and a richer pool of materials. Collaboration also supports professional growth and consistency across classrooms. Bring together everything you've learned by applying the evaluation process to real resources. Use your checklist, verify claims, address barriers, and make evidence-based decisions. This synthesis helps you internalize the process and apply it confidently in your teaching. In conclusion, evaluating and selecting learning resources is a critical professional skill. By using clear criteria, documenting your decisions, and reflecting on your practice, you ensure your students receive high-quality, inclusive, and effective instruction. Continue to refine your approach and stay open to new ideas and resources as you grow as an educator.